My goodness. How long has it been?
Well, our last show was December of 2018.
That means 2018. That means 99% of the people out in social media have no idea who we are.
That is right. That is right.
So let's rewind a little bit. We called this season 2, so that means there was a season 1, which I just made up the 1-2 thing just because we hadn't done it for so long. I thought might as well call it a season 2.
Yeah. So we were on for a little over a year. I think we started in April.
Had it been over a year, wasn't it? Because
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So we started in April of 16. No, we started in April of 17.
17. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then we actually unintentionally ended in December of 18. And here we are.
All right. So, how much are you willing to tell people about why we dropped off the face of the earth?
Oh, you
It's
know
not.
me.
It's not because we kicked keto to the curb.
No.
I would say, we've all had our challenges with keto, but still keto, low carb, primal, all that fun stuff. I think we've both been. Neither one of us fell off the wagon, like quit doing it, right?
No, not at all. And you know
So
me. I'm an open book. I'll tell anybody anything. I'm
that's
not.
true. That is true. This is true. So we were doing it with our company, and it was more of a lunch and learn, and that kind of warped its way into a podcast, and we definitely did a lot of stuff. But I mean, I think at that time, you're still having to pay for hosting podcasts. Podcast wasn't that new. Now they're a dime a dozen. So, but we just fell off the earth on Christmas, and you said you're an open book, so whatever you want to share.
Yeah. So I guess maybe for those who have never listened to our show, brief introduction of the two of us.
Oh,
So I'm Jolene Hale, and I started my journey in 2015 when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, all of those fun things that come along with being obese. Felt sorry for myself for a little while and decided one day that that was not how I was going to live the rest of my life. I refused to go on medication. So, of course, my doctors got angry because I was just getting worse. So I found keto. The story is a little odd how I found it, but I did stumble upon it. And one of the very first podcasts that I ever listened to was Dr. Nally when he was with Jimmy Moore. And so I have followed him throughout the whole journey. And fast forward a little bit, he now is my doctor. I've moved to Arizona in the mix of all of this. So, but with finding keto, I ended up losing over 100 pounds. And anyone who has done that knows that you have excess skin when you are somebody of my age. And not that I'm super old, but your skin does not go back the way that it was after that much being overweight and then, the length of time. So I decided to go have some plastic surgery. And my surgery was scheduled for December of 18. And so John took on our last podcast of the year.
well, we didn't know it was the last podcast.
True. Well, we knew that it was going to be the last podcast for that year because everybody was leaving for holiday break. And
Fair.
so we had intended coming back in January that we would just pick up where we left off and just have a little vacation. What we didn't anticipate is that during my surgery, I had some complications, and I won't get into the gruesome because I know weird John out, but
because I'm scared of blood and talking about bad things.
Yeah, and it was pretty gruesome. Anybody can contact me, and I'd be more than happy to share as much or as little as you want. But for the sake of this podcast and to keep John from turning green
and squirming, yeah.
I developed a seroma, which ended up that I was homebound for from let's see, I got home in January, and I was not released to leave my house other than doctor appointments until June. So the the damage was pretty extensive, but they had to cut my stomach open, and so the surgery I initially went for the plastic surgery was to remove the excess skin off my stomach. So they ended up having to open that and leave it open until
See, I'm already
it
getting
healed on
squirmy.
its own. Yeah, until it healed on its own. So because of
Yeah.
that, there was just daily visits from a nurse. I had to have people come to my house and take care of it and all kinds of stuff. So inadvertently, it just so happened that we just never started this back up. And
So it's probably a good time to point out the fact that you basically do all the work and I just show up. And so it's really pretty one-sided. So when she quit doing her side, that I just never started back up. So I guess a quick summary, if you're tuning in for the first time, my backstory, I actually interviewed her at work, not related to keto. I would say I wasn't really keto. I would say I was very heavy into the exercise, and I was more primal. I was primal blueprint certified. I definitely was toying with doing ketosis. So I was super interested in her story. And then after that, we just started doing lunch and learns. And I definitely am probably more, I would say sometimes I slip into the low carb piece because I still do a lot of vegetables and stuff. And sometimes I maybe pull myself out of the quote unquote keto, and the keto police would come arrest me. But I think for the most part, I do think that I love the way I feel in a keto-esque lifestyle. So whether that be a keto reset or that kind of thing. So when you contacted me out of the blue, I've probably been a month now because I was traveling with on vacation. But you contacted me and said, "Hey, would you want to do the podcast again?" I was like, "Heck yeah!" I've never been more accountable when I aired all my dirty laundry out to the public on the podcast. So we're going to kick the podcast up, and I think if we're gonna release any of the old episodes, I think that's your department. How do you feel about that? We're
yeah,
gonna pull
absolutely.
out of the archive.
Yeah,
So
we
it is
definitely had.
possible that we had a ton of material. How many shows did we do?
I believe we did 50. I'd have to pull the
50?
number. Yeah, I
Okay.
think.
So there's at least some handful of ones in there that we would re-release and put as season one. The hosting, if you were following us, we're not going to get any people who were subscribed before, because the hosting solution that we were using, we were paying for, and when we quit doing it, we stopped paying for it, and eventually all of those feeds died on the vine per se. So this will be a new feed. Technically, depending on when you're listening to this, you won't even get it because there has to be I think 1 or 2 shows before those feeds start to get picked up by Apple. So, but you can definitely go to the website, and we will put the new URL to subscribe. Right? We're still using the website, right?
Right. Yes, we are.
Yeah. So
ketoniancorner.com.
Yep. And right now, we will. I guess we have to release one before we can get a feed. So we'll have a feed soon. So if you're listening to this, of course, on the podcast, you already know it's out there. But if you're listening to this live in the Facebook group, so what is the Facebook group? Because really, you are the owner, user. I don't even use the Facebook group, frankly, hardly at all.
Yeah. So the Facebook group is Ketonian Corner.
And how do you spell that?
Oh, good one. It is KETONIANKORNER.
Yeah, so corners with a K for keto. Pretty creative, right?
That is.
she's laughing at me because I spelled it wrong earlier. All right. So season 2, what do you expect to get out of season 2? Why should people tune in?
So I think honestly, the goal here is to kind of do a holistic. So we're going to spend part of the time during these live chats with the nutrition side of it. some, personal experience, just talking on what we have experienced from the last one. And then I really want to hit on the physical side of it. So I'm going to start picking your brain on each of our. So for those of you who don't know, John is a certified trainer, and so I want, that's kind of where I want to start focusing. As he talked about, neither one of us really fell off of the nutrition bandwagon, but with daily life and the crazy things that we have all encountered for the past year, and then on top of that, what I went through the year before, I really want to start focusing on the physical aspect of it, because I do believe that those things go hand in hand. You can't be truly healthy without both of those. And so again, I want to start spending some of our time doing that.
Yep.
With John, just talking about physical, and some of the simple things. Not everybody has the ability to be able to go to the gym, again, because our world is a little bit crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
so
if you're
I
tuning
know,
in live, you'll see that my basement is like a gym. So I'm actually broadcasting from my gym.
yeah, and so I know you do a lot of stuff at home,
I do.
and even before,
Yep.
we talked about a little bit how you can do things at home if you don't have a home gym. And
Yep.
so, that's where I really want to focus, because I think that would be beneficial to everybody, and shamelessly beneficial to me.
Well, and I think, and it'll help to hold me accountable too, right? And because I think part of the thing that was difficult when we quit doing the podcast is, you're stuck at home, right? We've all been stuck at home for forever, it feels like, and then you get lethargic. You're not really doing a lot of stuff. You can't go to the gym, frankly. For a while, we couldn't even go to the gym, and you have nothing to do but eat. And even,
Right.
and if you're even you can fall off the bandwagon one day, or you could just go overboard. And once that becomes a habit, pretty soon, doesn't matter how keto you are, if you're consuming too many calories, it catches up with you. So, all right, well, cool. So accountability wise, I mean, we're willing to hold each other accountable. We're willing to hold the listeners accountable. So that we do that through the Facebook group. So definitely join in if you want to. You can ask questions there. There are no. Let's see. How many people have you helped? I mean,
Me?
we're not doctors or anything, but you
Yeah.
you helped a lot of people.
Yeah, I have, honestly. I mean, I don't know a number. But my thing was, I was never in this for the money. Anybody who knows me knows that money is, like, I don't care about. And so when I figured this out for myself, I was so passionate about it and so excited about it that I just wanted everybody to know how to become healthy themselves. And so I freely give out advice. I mean, I know that at one point we looked at, trying to do some coaching, but I am terrible at that, right? I can't say, oh, sorry, I can't give you this information or help you here until you become a client, because I just
Yeah.
gave it all freely, so I never had any paying clients,
Well, no, yeah,
and I was fine with that.
we have day jobs and stuff. So
Yeah,
really, we're just trying to be your friend, your neighbor, your
yeah, just
person.
a support group.
A little tough love, a little tough love. Speaking of
Yeah.
tough love, your husband just joined. You see that?
Oh, he did? I did not see that. You must be able to. I can't see this stuff, so
Well, we'll have to do a training session offline so we can teach you how to see the comments. But yeah, your husband Brian's
okay, I
is
do see that
sending
now.
you notes. We'll have to tell him that he. So if you're listening, Brian, she can't see what you're typing. Sorry about that. But anyway, we will definitely work through that. So this is, I guess, what we call this, our season trailer. So it's not really an episode; it's more like a trailer for season 2.
Yeah, just
And
kind of get you guys back into the swing of it with us, and let you know that we didn't fall off the face of the earth, and that we are still here.
okay, we got it. Okay, we get here. We'll test the tech. So Brian asked an actual real question. All right, so he asks, are all keto products keto?
Ooh, big answer. Short answer is no,
No.
not at all.
Yeah.
Um, So one of the
Fair
things,
point.
and so for John and I, at the very tail end, this is when keto was just kicking off. It was going gangbusters, and that was one of my frustrations. Is that tons of new people were coming in, and everybody's saying everything's keto, and you know, we can call anything we want, but it doesn't make it so. And that was a frustration because there are straight up ingredients that people put in your food that they say is keto, which I would say could probably qualify as low carb. Um, but keto and low carb, in my mind, are not really the same thing.
Yeah.
Keto focuses a lot on the quality of your food and how your insulin response is to those foods. And low carb doesn't really fit that methodology.
Yeah. So bottom line is, if you pick up a keto product and it has sugar in it, I mean,
Yeah.
just set it back down. There's just that's what shocked me, and I think it was a little bit of a frustration too there at the end, as once keto was a name that got Googled a lot, that you had everybody and their brother coming out with products that were borderline. I mean, like you said, more low carb. And it was
Yeah.
probably people who produced low carb stuff just putting keto on the label, frankly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And I
but
think early on, I would even venture to say that some of that stuff probably didn't even qualify as low carb.
yeah, it's possible. But
So,
we're not here to bash people's products and that kind of
nope.
stuff. We'll tell you what's worked for us and what hasn't. I mean, we're not doctors. We're not people. We're just people that talking about our experiences. So much like I threw that comment up that Brian, if you're watching the live stream, you'll be able to ask questions that way. We'll be able to talk. I think our first episode is going to be probably on goal setting, right? We're going to talk about our goals and what we're going to lay out some things to hold each other accountable for, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll have to go through the archive and look for some off. And we are currently planning, and the thing when you do live, problem with live is you have no buffer, right? So when you're doing live, our plan is to go live every other week, so it's twice a month, right?
Right. The first and the
So
third
first and the
Wednesdays.
third. All right, so that's our plan, and of course, as things change, we'll post them in the group. So definitely, if you're listening to this in podcast form because you stumbled across it, definitely join the group so you can hear the latest of when we're going live and get notified. If you just click the reminder, the app will notify you, or if you just say you're interested, it'll remind you. I think the day before. Not 100% sure about that. Facebook always changes the rules anyway. So besides Facebook, is there another way they can follow along that's less interactive?
We're on most of the social medias, so we will be publishing on any videos. We'll be publishing on Rumble. We will have
I like how she says we. Let's be
well,
honest. She's going to do all that.
the collective we. So we are also on Instagram. We are on Facebook, of course, Twitter.
But realistically, the ones that we interact on is Facebook. We are both in that. Instagram, you run.
Yep.
All the other socials are more links to things, not less interaction. So then, but for one, we got one more, which is YouTube, right?
Correct. Yes, we do have YouTube.
So YouTube actually has all of our archive of the shows because of the way the system works. YouTube, they're not videos or anything because they weren't doing live at the time, but they do have all of our old episodes. So if you want to get a jump on that, you'd have to really go back in the archive, but they are all there. Because I think everything, right?
It is. Yeah, we published all of our podcasts on YouTube.
Yes, and for a while we actually tried this live thing before live thing was cool. So there was a few where we where we did it PowerPoint style.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too funny. Wow, I can't believe it's been this long. That's crazy.
I know.
Crazy.
So we definitely need to start holding people accountable. And just to give you a heads up, I am taking a note for our first truly live show, which will be in 2 weeks. We're gonna revisit a challenge that I gave John, or
No.
actually to the two of us. We did a
Oh,
challenge,
is this
and
making mayonnaise?
no, well, yeah. Did you ever make the mayonnaise? Darn it. Um, no, this is
Hey, you want to know
carnivore.
something? You ready?
What? Yeah.
I have made the mayonnaise more
Have
than
you?
once. I
Awesome.
have.
All
And you
right.
know what? It's as easy as you say. I am just really lazy, it turns out.
Yeah. Well, but I thought it would be fun for your kids, to be honest.
I need to work on that. I've been very poor. I still, man, you're gonna, yeah. It's sad. I'll just say that it's sad that I have not, because I got a pastor, like a girl down the street hooks me up with eggs, and so
Right.
they'd be those nice rich yolks, and man, it just tastes so much better. Yeah, I just need to get on it.
Yeah. It does taste a lot better, believe
Okay,
me.
so and then
But the
sorry.
real question, it is not that. The real thing that we're going to talk about, and we're going to both update, is the carnivore challenge. Because
Okay.
I know that you and I kind of talked about it offline, but I think it's pretty interesting. So I will
So
go back and take notes from our actual challenge that we
okay,
did in our original podcast, kind of jot down where both of us were and how we ended that challenge, and
okay,
then check notes and see where both of us are at today. Because I
awesome.
think it'll be surprising.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe
Mine hasn't changed.
maybe
So
not for you, but yeah.
okay, all right, cool. And who knows? And then we can go into that. So that's actually a really good one. So it's even better than in goal setting. We'll talk about update of a project that we did 3 years ago, and is it 2 years ago? I can't. Math's hard, but yeah. I think that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Cool.
kind
And
of.
then that'll give us time to put one of the goal setting. We can go to the archive, get one of the goal setting episodes, and we could put that, and we'll do some rewind episodes we'll throw in the season one to give you something in between those off weeks. Look at
Yeah.
us. We almost sound like we're professionals.
Yeah, and if anybody has topics that you want us to talk about, it'll be the exact same as it always was before. Send them either through any one of our social medias. Send it to our website. You can send comments there, and we'll put them on the list of subjects to hit on.
Oh, so hey, I want to do keto in amusement park.
Yeah.
I've been
So
struggling with that, so we'll have to make that a topic. See, even I can throw out podcast ideas.
So I was going to ask you to talk about this. Anybody who's looking or joined us with the live, John's name on his is not just John. So explain. Tell us what this means.
So when we quit podcasting, I did have a little hole in my heart. And after I realized, I don't know, I think the tool set even got to the point where podcasting became a little more mainstream. The tool set got better. So back when we used to podcast, it would take us, what do you say, 4 times the time. So if we recorded for 30 minutes, it'd take us, about 2 hours to produce it and get it
Yeah.
uploaded and everything. So it was very labor intensive. So I got a couple new tools, and I started doing some stuff, and I volunteer for a couple of coaster communities, and so now I've started to document my the website's Parks with Points, and so I use credit card points to kind of travel hack amusement parks. So that's what I do now, and I do have a podcast. It's called the
Nice.
Thrills. So thrillseekerspodcast.com is the podcast homepage. And yeah, you knew none of that. You actually didn't know that. And then the reason why I realize you're asking me is because in the tool we're using to record, it's got my name down there at the bottom. So did you even realize I did that?
Well, I saw it, and that's why I thought maybe we could just shamelessly plug your other endeavors.
Endeavor. Yeah, yeah, and that's my so my daughter is Roller Coaster Riley. She also has a website called The Coaster Girl, and it's really low ends. So we just blog when we go to parks and stuff. So, and then on the other side, on Parks with Points, I just kind of document what credit card points I use to get free hotel rooms and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's a niche travel hacking site.
Very fun.
Yeah, you didn't know I was a coaster nerd, did you?
Well, you and I had briefly talked about it a couple of weeks ago, so I did know that you had some other things going on. I just didn't realize the extent of
my coaster nerdy. So just awareness. We work together. So when we work together, you end up talking to each other a lot. But through the crazy pandemic and everything, you kind of there's less water cooler talk. So I always used to be an amusement park junkie. But now that my daughter's older, she can start to ride the bigger rides and likes them. I am now able to do it more because when you were talking about the life gets busy. Oh, now once you got overlap, you can, then I get to do it a little bit more. So yeah, it's fun.
Nice.
So yeah, stay tuned. I've got everything from sample credit cards and using the sign-on bonuses to pay for your Six Flags membership or season pass, so you can set up your home park for points.
So, and for those who are just joining us or never knew this before, John lives in Central Illinois. So does this apply for specific Six Flags or Six Flags anywhere?
Everywhere. So
Okay.
you can use your Six Flags pass at any Six Flags parks, but the same methodology can be used at any park. It doesn't matter if it's Six Flags, but when you look at travel hacking, everybody's like, we're flying business class to Hawaii, or we're doing this and this and this for Disney. So after that, there wasn't really a lot of content. So I just started doing it for fun. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, wow, we took a big turn there.
Well, this is going to be a holistic, remember? And
that's right.
Holistic means everything about your life, and all of our different pieces come into the single puzzle. So
yeah, it's I love it. So yeah, cool. All right, well, hey, so we got 2 weeks. We've got now a topic, and we are ready to go. So this is our trailer for season 2. Soon we will be on Anchor, which is also Spotify. So they'll show up first in those applications, and then as we disseminate, Google will pick it up. All the other podcast tools will start picking it up. So yeah, you'll start to see the podcast soon.
All right, super.
All right, yeah. Any parting wisdom, parting concerns?
Just get active on the Facebook page and
all right,
ask any questions that you have, or help anybody post things that you're facing, and either they can help you, or John and I can jump in and give some of our personal advice.
Yeah, I've always got an opinion. Whether or not it's right or not is for you to decide. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you reaching back out and asking to do this again. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be great.
So, all right, cool. All right. Well, stay tuned. Our goal is 2 weeks from now, and if you're in the Facebook group, you will see the live, and we'll try to not post it the day before. we'll try to give you a heads up next time. Promise.
All right. Good talking to you, John.
All right. Good to see you too. Bye.
Bye.